again. We have to find the values of x. The sequence converges to 0. The requirement for this sequence, which is a geometric sequence, to converge to 0 is this. It is that the absolute value of e to the x minus 1 is less than 1. And the way I think is the easiest to go about these things is just to draw a picture of this function. So let's just draw a picture of e to the x minus 1. E to the x is just the usual exponential, and it's been brought down 1, so here's put in the asymptote, which of e to the x is at 0, but e to the x minus 1, we've got an asymptote at y equals minus 1. It's minus 1 there. And let's sketch the curve. If x equals 0, that's 1 minus 1, which is nothing, so it goes through the point 0, 0, so we just have this curve here. It does that. There we go. That's y equals e to the x minus 1. Now, we have to satisfy this condition. The absolute value of that is less than 1. That is, it must be between plus 1 and minus 1. So I'm just marking in y equals 1 line. There's 1 there. And you can see very clearly if I mark it that the values where this function is between plus and minus 1 is all the way coming up here up until, so coming from the left hand side, up until this point here. It will not include that point here because at that point it is equal to 1. So we just have to find the corresponding x value there, and less than that, the value of the function, the absolute value of the function, will be less than 1, or its value is between plus and minus 1. So let's just solve for that point there. So what we've got is that e to the x minus 1 equals plus 1. Case e to the x equals 2, and taking log to the base e of both sides, I'll write this up a long way. You probably will do this in a shorter way, but log to the base e of e to the x equals log to the base e of 2. Bring that x to the front and we get x equals log to the base e of 2. That's because log to the base e of e is 1. Okay, we get x equals log to the base e of 2, so that is the value of x there. X equals log to the base e of 2 is where that function equals plus 1. For us to satisfy this condition, that we're less than 1, that is, we're between plus and minus 1, well, we must be just to this side of that. That's to the left of it, where we are less than that. So the condition required is that x is less than log to the base e of 2, and then the absolute value of that will be less than 1. Again, with all these, a picture makes it usually pretty straightforward. Okay, I will stop there.